Hello everyone and welcome to another video. I believe my microphone is working, although it got knocked over by a cat recently. Speaking of which, he's doing just fine, but he did have to go to the vet the other day because he is apparently stressed. And it might be something to do with us trying to keep him off of counters and whatnot, but apparently he's stressed, and that's been making him a little bit lately. Anyway, so here we are. It's 1 year later. We're coming up on the 4th anniversary. And normally I do my Wotv awards at the end of the year. And that's still more than likely going to be happening. Unless, the game takes a major nosedive and then I just stop playing. But let's say that that's not going to happen for now because we're going to stay positive, at least until we see this anniversary stream. I did want to talk about year over year, from one anniversary to another, just like a few topics of certain things, like what are my favorite additions to the game, what was the best long-term value character over the course of the year, what was just my favorite collaboration, and what is my personal favorite character. I think those are the four. I don't want to do too terribly much. I mean, we got the live stream tomorrow, so of course we'll be on stream talking, having fun with everyone there. So of course, show up. That's my shameless promotion. Anyway, let's get back to it. So first off, I want to talk about my favorite addition to Wotv over the last year, sort of thing. Like 120s and 140s and all these power things that have happened for characters and whatnot were interesting, to say the least. A little bit, like, here and there frustrating, but not the worst thing ever. So I had to think about this for a little bit, about what my favorite addition to Wotv over the course of the last year. And honestly, it was kind of tough. I didn't really come up with too many things that I thought were, like, content-wise or espers, or if there was a favorite moment I had this year. Like, the last year of the fourth, from the 3rd to the 4th anniversary, is largely a blur. And yeah, like, I think about wave battles, of course. Wave battles were something, limit burst upgrades. What even else was there? Another story 3. And that's kind of what I came back to. Like, my favorite update is still just the another story updates, because they are much smaller, they are more manageable. They usually are the most interesting place for characters to be introduced, and they're some of the best long-term, like, still cool, still powerful characters. Like, I think Barris has been around forever, and he's still just a really good character. So yeah, it's kind of boring, to say the least, to just be like, well, I mean, this is my favorite thing, and it's like, well, it was probably kind of one of my favorite things before. But yeah, another stories are just kind of the pride and joy of this. They're not as feeling like long and drawn out. They come and go. They feel like an actual thing for a while. And they usually have quite a departure for just the character designs to be a little more fantastical, a little more fantasy than the normal Wotv characters. But I still appreciate these, and yeah, favorite thing. So next up, best long-term value character. And this one wasn't as difficult as I thought it was going to be, because honestly, like, you think about characters who have come out more recently, such as Summer Glassy or Renoa or Brylalia. They haven't been around that long, so they haven't really had a ton of time to shine. So this category really, to me, is about, like, how far, like, the earlier characters in the year. Some of the ones who have dropped off, like, you think about it, Wing Stern, Sephiroth. Like, Sephiroth was and Yuffie were the two first units around that time of the 3rd anniversary. And the sorry, I'm trying to be concise about this, but like it came down to me between 2 characters who have been around. And one of them was Sephiroth and one of them was King Bradley. And you know, Sephiroth came, I think, a couple months earlier, and here we are a couple months later, and Sephiroth is still strong, but I think that King Bradley is actually the one, and you know, I don't have him on my accounts, and I have him. We'll go to the Earth element, but King Bradley has been a staple in so many accounts, and the only reason I give him it over Sephiroth is because of like not just my ranking but other people's rankings too. Like if I go to Wotv Ultima is something that I never put the most amount of stock into because I feel like a lot of the times it's not super accurate. And then if you go over to like Game 8 Wotv, they also have their own tier list. But if you combine the two, you kind of get a little bit more of an idea. And I think that King Bradley, just with how oppressive Lightning became in the later half of the year, is the deciding factor. Like, yes, Sephiroth came too earlier, so he's older. And Sephiroth is still incredibly powerful and probably the one that should be the answer to this, but I actually just think that King Brad from the Earth element is just so integral to pushing back Lightning and how strong Lightning became, and Soul is also in there, but again, Soul too. So yeah, I'm going to say that King Bradley is my best long-term value because he is still way more predominant on at least JP Arena. Like I see way more King Brads than I do for Sephiroth. So that's my decision. It can. All right. Next up, just a quick one. We're just gonna do a little bit of quickie at the end of this, which is who I thought was the strongest unit of, and the strongest unit of the year just goes. This is simple. It's Bridal Alaya. I think that she is just came out and was just so powerful as a fist user. There just wasn't enough of an answer to a strong fist user, and she didn't even need really a lot of others. She was killing entire Earth teams when she first came out. She was doing a ton of stuff, and it's been months of like putting out Soul Vision cards to kind of bat her. So yes, this one is probably a more recent unit because that's just power creep. But Bridal Alaya, absolutely my strongest unit. And so we come to the final 2 and favorite collaboration of the entire year. And it's not Final Fantasy VII, and it's definitely not Final Fantasy VIII. It's not a repeat collaboration or the Pixel remaster, because that really didn't count to me. So it came down between 5 and Full Metal Alchemist. And I honestly think that, like, personally, 5 was just my favorite. It had the more characters that I liked. It had the designs I liked more. I fear to say this, but I'm just not as much of a Full Metal Alchemist fan as other people are. And I don't feel like I can ever get there to be as... So, I mean, just the Esper, Sildra, I really like the weapon designs that came with it. Like here, if we take, and I'm saying like a lot, but like if you look at Lena's staff, it's so just beautiful. I love the little dragon at the top. I love the way Lena looks. She looks super, super great. I like the way Bart's looks. I love the way his unit is designed. His limit burst is super cool. With all the swords, and I think like it's like a combination of Wotv swords, if I'm remembering correctly, because I haven't seen the first in a while. But yeah, like that, and then you combine with Sildra as well as Barris, and to me, the Final Fantasy V collaboration was the thing where I saw the most new stuff come. Like Ferris has multi-tier attacks where she attacks and then she also heals, or she attacks and she buffs. And that combination was way more fun to me. Bart's with the new aura style effect, which many unit or other units have gotten since then, has been like a step forward in terms of unit design and like making parties and whatnot, and how you leverage that. To me, Final Fantasy V was just the best collaboration because it felt like it had great artwork. It had some fun stuff, with Gilgamesh being like something that's coming in the future that we saw. And yeah, I'm just going to give it to that one. All right. So the last one, I'm trying to keep track of the time codes in my head. So the last one is to talk about my favorite overall unit for the year. And you'd think, well, maybe it's Thunder Astrius, because Thunder Astrius is your favorite, or you really like FF8 and Renoa, or you like Sephiroth, or Yuffie, or another story unit, or how. So, what was your overall decision this year, or what was your favorite unit between the 3rd and 4th anniversary? And a little bit of a drum roll there. It's Bart's. And Bart's is not the most successful unit ever. He was not even the unit that I had the most success with, or the unit that I power leveled all the way up to the top really fast, or just a bunch of stuff. But Bart's was really kind of just a fun thing when he came out, of being like, hey, you can mix him with gunners, or you can mix him with swords. You just stack human killer and you get a secondary attack that's really powerful. And honestly, like he's the one that I just keep coming back to, was the unit that I was the most excited when I found out about his kit, and like just theorizing the fact that he's kind of just stuck around, and even like a bunch of units are now just copying his aura style effect for more defensive things, and some offensive things too. But like he really just was one of my favorite characters of, well, he was my favorite character of the year. There were a lot of great, cool units that came out over the course of this year that were powerful and strong, but Bart's was kind of this weird, flexible character that we didn't have to gotcha to get, because he was like just a free 100 cost. He was in the light element, so it gave light a bit of a boost, when I think light has kind of just the most ho-hum year of any of the elements this year. Like light and wind, I can't even really think about too much else that came out. Of course, Wing Stern, but still. It was an interesting year, to say the least. And of course, with the 4th anniversary live stream, we'll see what that looks like in very short amount of time. About less than 24 hours from now. Probably 24 hours from now, we'll know pretty much everything. So thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know in your comments below if you want to chime in on anything you thought, your favorite collaboration, favorite unit this year, the unit you thought was just the best overall, or anything like that. Please go ahead. Thanks so much for watching. Next time.